Hey everybody, get in here, come on in. This is the Shawn Yankey Show. We're going to start in just a little bit. I give you a little time to get in, get settled, invite your friends, like and share, do all that. Make sure you do that. This is an independent show. We depend on you, the viewers, to get this out. So if you dig it, share it. It's for sharing, not staring. That's our new motto. Sharing, not staring. Let me see. Let me turn this down a little more. And I want to come over here and say hello. Let me see who's here. We got Brent. Brent got first as far as on my screen, and that's official first. I have decided that is official first. Sometimes I watch it back and somebody else got first. Nope. We don't play by fair rules. This is not a democracy. Hey, Helen. Hey, Lori. Truth lovers and life lovers unite. Hey, Joan. What's up, Riley? Heath. Good group. Marie, man, everybody's here. Hey, Paul Lee's here. All right. Let me see who's here on YouTube. What is up, Kilo? Man, where you been? I'm glad to see you. You picked a good night to show up. It's rant night. We're going to have a good time tonight. That's what rant night is about. Rant night is about getting everything out, okay? And trust me, I've got a ton of shit to give out. For a week, I've been waist deep in child sex trafficking. Some of the sickest shit you can look into. Involving the most evil people on the planet. I got a lot of venting to do, all right? And I'm not saying it's going to be about that, but I wouldn't surprise me if some of that comes out because the amount of disgusting that I looked through this week. Paul's got a badge, but you are always top fan. You are always top fan. Paul is official top fan. I think on any page he goes to, I don't know that it's just my page. But hey, Periscope, good to see you. Good to see you. I got to tell you, you need to tell Twitter that Periscope is fucking up. All right? Because I'm looking at you on desktop right now. Okay? I need to be able to see your comments there. But they don't do that. They want you to have a second device. Right? Well, it's all the way over there on the charger. So I can't see your comments, Periscope. But if Twitter gets their shit together, eventually I'll be able to. Let's see. Lori says a hashtag now. Oh, yeah. Get Lori laid. Get Lori laid. Road trip. We're going to make this happen, Lori. Uh-oh. Riley's pissed already. Good night to be showing up if you're mad because we're going to be venting about stuff. I'm going to vent about some stuff and then I'm going to see what you guys are pissed off about. Maybe we can get worked up about that too. We're going to get it all out by the end of this show. Marie's got a bunch of hashtags. Yankey Peeps. That's the best group on Facebook, by the way. Yankey Peeps. That is my group. And it's just for general shit posting and the coolest kids online. And it's exactly as advertised. It's a baby right now. Get on over there and be one of the first cool kids in this room. Because I'm telling you it's going to blow up. And you're going to wish you was part of Yankey Peeps. So get over there right now and join. And the Shawn Yankey Show, where this is coming from on Facebook. Sometimes I forget to talk to you, Facebook. I love you. But you need to come like my page. You know what I mean? I need you to like my page. So you can see all the great videos I make for you. Paul says the mask is a way to subdue people. Put a muzzle on a dog and watch its behavior change. Thank you. Tonight is rant night. Very first subject on my notes is masks. Thank you, top fan. See, there's a reason. There's a reason why he's top fan. No, we got a lot of top fans. I don't mean to take away from anybody. See, Lori's top fan +1. But these masks, all right? I'm forced to wear one every day at work. Every day, I'm forced to wear this damn mask. I got it strapped on my face for 9 hours. All right? I'm being paid to wear it. That's the way I look at it. And forced. But I make it okay with myself because I have to have a job. You know, what am I supposed to do? Walk out over a mask? Trust me, I've thought about it. I'm a stubborn son of a bitch. I'm hard-headed, right? And it's crossed my mind, but I like my job, you know, and I need it. Till this is my job, till I find a way to do my passion professionally, you know, because this is what I really love to do. But everybody knows what I'm talking about. You got to go to work to be able to eat and shit. You know, I've grown quite fond of food and a roof over my head and conditioned air. You know, I'm spoiled. So I wear this mask. But I don't agree with it. And more science is coming out that agrees with me. OSHA. This is just ridiculous, what I'm about to tell you. But I just got done reading from OSHA's site, Occupational Safety and Health Administration, government administration, about masks in the workplace, wearing masks, being forced to wear masks. They don't recommend it. Matter of fact, they don't even talk about the bullshit mask they strap on me. They only talk about an N95 mask in their piece. And I think they're doing that on purpose, but they're saying it. They're not outright saying it, but they're saying it. They even say in the piece that it's not healthy to wear the mask, that it actually violates workplace safety to require people to wear a mask, that it is not healthy for you, not good for you. Now, is that the first time you've heard that? What about Judy Mikovits? She tried telling people that. She's still trying to tell people that. You're being forced to breathe your own air. You're being forced to weaken your own immune system. There's multiple reasons why it's no good for you. I'm not a doctor, but there's plenty of doctors out there trying to tell people. But every time they post a fucking video, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all these fucking platforms that now control everything, take it down. No one gets to see it, doesn't get out. And if someone rises to the top, like Judy Mikovits did in the Plandemic documentary, then they slander the fucking shit out of that person. They make sure that nobody's going to pay any attention to what that person has to say, even if they fucking say it themselves. Fauci, at the very beginning of this, Dr. Fauci, advisor to 7 presidents, sat on TV, I played it for you guys on this show, and said, don't need to wear a mask. That it's not even a good fucking idea, that it's not healthy, and it doesn't even protect you from anything. But we've all gone along with it up till now, right? Paul's right. You're putting a muzzle on the dog, you're conditioning behavior. This whole fucking thing is a training exercise. They're running a live game on us. This isn't real. Fucking none of it. You know, I haven't wanted to say that through this entire Rona extravaganza. This is a fucking flu virus. This is nothing. Have we had a flu yet this year? Is it going to hit in the fall maybe? You know, last year, they were plugging that flu shot over and over and over and over and over again. They're fucking paying you to get it. Giving it away for free. Every Walgreens I go into, it asks me if I want to get a flu shot. All the time. They ain't talking about that shit this year. Why? Why was it so important last year? We don't want people to get 3 and 4 of them motherfuckers. But I digress. The fucking mask. I'm sick to death of this mask. I can't stand it, you know? And I don't like that there's so much fucking gaslighting if you happen to speak up against it. You know, I don't appreciate that at all. I have some friends, people that I actually respect, who do a bit of this online, who've done it to me. And I'm like, you know me better than this. Should. Obviously you don't, but you should. You know? This isn't healthy. There was a kid at my job who brought in a note from his doctor that it was giving him carbon monoxide poisoning. Wasn't good enough. He could take a leave of absence. He could give up his job. Fuck his car payment, right? Transportation, apartment, roof over his head. Fuck all that. Wear the mask. Damage your health. Or go sleep in your car. And now OSHA's saying it ain't right. How long before they walk that back? How long before someone gets in that lady's ass at OSHA and says, you weren't supposed to say that shit? Plus, did you know that an N95 mask is considered by OSHA to be a fucking respirator? It's so restrictive to your airflow that it's considered to be a respirator. I'm not a doctor. I'm not an expert. But I know bullshit when I see it. I've always had a very good bullshit detector. And this is bullshit. Kilo says dioxide. What did I say? Monoxide? Dude, again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. I'm not an expert of any kind. But my bullshit gauge is going off. It's busted. Brent says, I'm not getting a vaccine, but I will wear the mask indoors. The CIA uses mind games, so I don't trust them at all. Are you thinking it protects you from facial recognition? Is that your thoughts on wearing the mask out in public? Jennifer says, what? With 3 question marks. But I don't know what. I said so much just now that I'm not sure which part. But let's see. I wanted to check in with you guys because I realized I've been ranting for a little bit. But I'm upset about this mask. I'm tired of it. And you know, they've been giving me at my job. My job's cool. My employer is really cool. But, wait a minute. I was praising them. Let me finish that. So they are cool. They've been paying us extra amount of money per hour through this whole thing because we're all strapped up. You know, I'm Dr. Shawn selling hamburgers. I got gloves on, working a cash register. I'm not touching food. Got a mask on my face, standing in front of a plastic barrier between me and the customer. There's absolutely zero reason for me to be wearing this mask. I'm wearing it anyway. So, but I get this extra money. So I'm like, okay, that's my mask money. Guess what ends next month? Guess what don't? This fucking Rona. All right? So when the second lockdown comes, which it is, maybe they'll bring the money back. But they're going to make me wear this thing for free. I'm going to be back into a situation where my hard-headed ass has to make a decision. And again, I'm going to have to choose between food and my dignity and what makes fucking sense. You know, the thing that bothers me the most, my biggest pet peeve in life, is stupidity. Stupidity is the real epidemic. That is what will end us all. That's going to be our downfall. The stupidity of humanity and the herd mentality. But stupid shit I can't stand. And this is fucking stupid. Now, I don't know exactly what's happening. I have theories. And we can get into those. That's fine. But what isn't happening is a fucking super virus spreading across the world. And it never has been. It never has been. And if you still think it is, please turn that fucking box off in your living room that does nothing but lie and misinform you. Turn it off. Unplug it. Throw it out the window. You're not smart enough to have one because you don't know when to ignore it. It's okay to have it for entertainment. If you think there's truth coming out of that thing, it's a weapon. It always has been. And it always will be. Truth is in front of your eyes. The truth is out in public. The truth, you can see it. You have to want to. You have to be open to it. It doesn't just seek you out. But if you're seeking it, you'll find it. That's the main thing, is most people don't. Most people don't want to be informed. They don't want to know. They want to be told what to think. And then they want to make everybody else fall in line too, because they want everybody to do what they do. They don't just want to be told what to think. They want to be popular as well. So everybody's got to go along with it. The TV told me. Well, did you even look? Did you even look? Did you look at the CDC encouraging hospitals and doctors to diagnose fucking everything COVID? Did you even look at them saying they won't hold any hospitals or doctors responsible for misdiagnosing a cause of death as COVID? Why are we doing that? We ever done that with something else? We ever said, hey, it's cool, just go ahead and write COVID? We do that with other shit? Is that alright? They put this shit in plain sight. They don't hide it. That was on the news. That's on their site. Nobody listens. Nobody cares. Nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. To quote George Carlin, it's all out there. Now you got fucking OSHA saying that this thing is dangerous. It's harmful to your health. How much you need? How much do you need before you start realizing you're being trained? Stand 6 feet apart. Wear a mask. Be shameful of your humanity and your germs. Otherwise you might kill your grandma. You know? Do what the man tells you to do, or you're some kind of dangerous maniac that can't be trusted to run wild in society because you may infect everyone. Hey, system failure. Pop over to mine, bro. I am live tomorrow night. Wait a minute. You invite me to something. You've invited me before, system. You've invited me before. And I sat here ready. And you fell asleep on me, man, remember? And if I come, it won't be at 7. When time this show's on, this show airs every day. And this is an amazing show. So we're never going to cancel this show to go on a different one. I'll definitely come on sometime, but we'll have to line it up. But tomorrow night, I got plans, brother. Todd Church is going to join us. Todd Church is coming into the Yankey Show studios to talk to us. We're going to drop truth, and that's what I'm going to do. Me and Todd are going wild tomorrow night. It's going to be squirrel style. I don't know what's going to happen. I can't warn you. I can't prepare you. I don't know how to tell you what we're going to get into. But I'm a fan, and I like watching Todd's live feeds. And I think y'all need to hear some shit that might fall out of his mouth. So we're having Todd on tomorrow, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So be back for that. Susan says, let me check in with y'all. Let me see if y'all think I'm a rambling idiot, or if we have anyone here that thinks I should shut my mouth because I'm preaching that these masks are bullshit. And maybe even the Rona itself. Teresa says, dignity and integrity wins over this BS. I don't know what she's talking about. Let me back up. Because like I said, some people might be mad at me. Marie said, I read yesterday that they are saying even with 2 people wearing a mask 4 feet away, the Rona can still infect them. Here comes a whole new set of play here, right? The rules just keep changing. They can't make their mind up. They came out and admitted that asymptomatic people weren't even a risk, that they aren't even likely to spread this, then walked it back. The hell with that. You were telling the truth the first time. You're lying now. I don't want to hear what you got to say anymore. Just like the first time Fauci was on TV talking about the masks and talking about social distancing, he was telling you the truth too. It's not a good idea. It's not a good idea. But where is he? What's he saying now? Changed his tune, didn't he? System says, Todd is amazing. Love him. Good friends with him for years. You better be here tomorrow then, because it's going to be off the chain. No, you're good. I was teasing you, system. It's all right. People fall asleep from time to time. It happens. You just did like a 3-day live stream. I don't understand how to stream on YouTube, but I don't think I'm doing it right. Y'all go for a long time. Y'all go for a long time on YouTube. I watch one of yours, man. It's hours. And it's different. It's a whole different vibe. Kilo says, I don't think I'm familiar with him. Todd? Well, you're going to find out tomorrow. Susan says, my ICU nurse best friend of 40 years. I trust her completely. She said, wear a mask in public. She wears hers all day at work. She wears hers when she goes out in public. Don't spread your germs on me. Okay, there's a lot to unpack there. Your friend is a hysterical loon. No, I'm just kidding. She's being hysterical, though. And she's not using common sense because it makes no sense to think, even for a second, that you can stop the spread of germs and viruses. That's ridiculous. And now we're going to be ashamed of our humanity, of the shit coming out of my mouth right now. Do you realize that there's stuff floating around you right now that hasn't even been discovered? I mean, we're swimming in a sea of all kinds of shit. It's unrealistic to keep yourself away from germs and viruses and infections. And it's hysterical to be afraid of those things. And to think that that mask, which I could point you at many medical experts, including professional presidential advisor Dr. Fauci, who will tell you, in their medical opinion, that it doesn't do shit. So it's a psychological band-aid. That's what it is for those that are afraid. And then for those in power, it's a muzzle on a dog, like Top Fan said. Todd motherfucking Church, you damn right, Lori. That's tomorrow night. Lori said Monday through Friday this show. Every day. And today's squirrel style. We're completely off notes. And Teresa said, George Carlin learned from Lenny Bruce. The godfather of truth comedy. Being real is the only way forward. All right? It's the hardest way forward. But it's the only way forward of any value. I was talking, my brother-in-law's here. I have family over today. And we were talking outside. And I was like, man, because we were talking about last night's video. I'm going to go ahead and get to that because that's my next topic. Last night, I aired a video that I've been working on feverishly. So I put so much effort in this fucking video. I'm more proud of last night's video than I am anything I've ever made in my life. Ever, ever, ever. I've never created anything that means to me what that video meant to me. And it was the hardest thing I've ever done. And I don't know. It makes me sad that more people aren't seeing it. More people are seeing it on Facebook, though. So I was talking to my brother-in-law, and I was like, on YouTube, last night's video has 1 view. 1. Still. I checked it right before this feed. 1. And it's a bot. SexyGirlsOnline.com. Watch my video. That's the only person on YouTube, a robot. Now, system, you're still here. You ever seen anybody as throttled as me? You're never going to convince me that for whatever reason, because I've never really hit as hard as we hit last night, and we usually don't hit hard like that, they're afraid of me. They're afraid. Somebody might take an interest. I might get out. I might get popular. People might start listening to me. And something may accidentally fall out of my mouth that ain't supposed to. Well, they should be. But fuck them. Because he's right. She, he. I hate when I do that based on a profile picture. But it's true. The truth is the only thing of value. But I was telling my brother-in-law, I was like, if I wanted to talk about bullshit all day, I'd be huge. You know, I really think so. I think I'm at least decent at this. And have a good ability to talk and a decent voice, and I would make a decent living in radio if I wanted to do that, or in any kind of thing I wanted to do with my voice. Except this. You know, William Cooper died for this, to tell the truth. But I still treasure his recordings. And he didn't even have a radio show for that long. There's real value in this. It's the only thing that matters. It's the only thing that can get anything out. But one view, man. You spend all that time and all that work. And, you know, I don't make any money doing this at all. And it's not why I do it. It's to get them out. I want them seen. I want people to see them. That's why I make these. That's why I've made any video I've ever made. Because I want it to get out and be seen. Be free. I make it, I send it out. I want people to enjoy it. And I will continue to do things that way for as long as I can. I will always put stuff out for free. And then, because I want it seen, I want it to get out. Brings us back to the other night we were talking about musicians being mad at music file sharing sites. Why? Why wouldn't you want that to get out to everybody so then they would actually come and see you? So we could do stuff like road shows and go out and do this live at a comedy club. Have a live Yankee show. That would be some badass shit. Well, that's down the road. And that's where we're heading. That's what's going to come. But for now, we're stuck on these social media platforms. And YouTube is the worst. I love you guys on YouTube. Please, please, please. No, I'm not talking about you, the people. My YouTube friends are amazing, and you guys are troopers. Because YouTube is fucking up. All right? We've talked about a lot of people fucking up. But no one is doing it as good as YouTube. They're shutting down everything, man. You know, when they came for Alex Jones, everybody should have been alerted. They should have realized they're coming for everything. You let them take him down. You thought it was funny. You know, and screw Alex Jones, by the way. I don't like Alex Jones. He's a disinformation agent. I think he probably works for the CIA. Regardless, he's not a real truther. And he's a loon. He's putting on an act. He's doing a show. And it's garbage. So I don't like him. I'm not defending him. What I am defending, though, is his right to speech, his right to a platform, his right to get out. Susan, I'm never going to tell anyone to wear a mask, ever in life. And as someone that has been here for a little bit, you know that I tried real hard to be responsible about this for a very long time. You know I did. And I'm prefacing it 100% with I have no medical expertise. But my bullshit gauge is broken on this one. I can't anymore. I did it out of, I don't know, manners. Just wanted to respect people, you know. And even though I didn't agree with it or go along with it, I was like, well, the hell with it. I'm getting paid at work to wear it. And I would never, ever, ever wear it outside of work. And if I couldn't go into a store without wearing it, then I guess I'm going to starve to death. Because, dude, come on. We can't do this. This isn't any way to live. There's no way to be. Going to live in fear. I don't even know if I'm saying that name right, but that is a pretty name. Tressa? How do you say that name? Sound it out for me. I'm terrible. But we're stuck in an echo chamber on Facebook. We're preaching to the choir mostly. That's exactly right. I'm going to like that right now. Usually I don't do that because it distracts me, but I'm going to like that comment right now because you couldn't be more right. All right? And someone said something similar to that the other day. And it is so damn true. They said that nothing is allowed online that they don't want. Well, that's true and it isn't true. Nothing gets to the top. Nothing becomes popular. Nothing gets to be mainstream that they don't want. But they let shit out all the time. They don't give a fuck if somebody like me gets on here and tells you the truth. They want me to. All right? Because their belief system requires them to put everything in plain sight. And they've done it across the board. Anything you want to know, you can find out. You have a computer in your pocket. And you can look up anything you want to know in the whole world. Just nobody does it. It takes effort. You have to look. But if you do, you will find that it's all out there. Just like I know Susan is mad at me, but I can't worry about that. I upset people all the time. And doing what I do, an opinion-based show, it just comes with it. Plus, truth is tough. A lot of people don't like it. It's uncomfortable. It rattles your belief systems sometimes. But I've always really loved it. I've always really valued it, and I've always really felt like it was the most important thing. And it is. It ended up being the fucking key to everything. I never knew how important it was until I understood how evil the world is and what would actually have to happen to make that change or to stop that. Then I realized it was the key to everything. So however you pronounce your name, it's beautiful, by the way. You're absolutely right. Truth is the only thing of value. System says much love, chat. Oh, much love. He said that a bunch of times. Are you leaving? I'll have to head on, bro. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm not on, but I will try to get back in for sure. Right on. I'll see you tomorrow. Let me catch up with you guys in the comments. I probably pissed off everyone. Whoa! Now, Lori is not a skank. Matter of fact, we had to start a hashtag campaign just to try to get her laid. People are going to get offended in this feed. And I knew that at the beginning of it. But we're squirrel style. And sometimes squirrel style goes sideways. But, man, you know, a squirrel, you can never catch a squirrel. I got it right? Teresa in English words. Thanks, Shawnee. Paul, the comment section is fire tonight. And it's going to get more fire because we got more sensitive stuff to get into. But I don't know, man. Yeah, I do. I'm done. Something happened to me. I don't know. Spend a week making a video about how fucking evil the world is. Do that. Just look through the sickest shit you can find for a whole week and see how you come out at the other end of it. I don't know. I think it changed me. I'm definitely angry. So, truth is spilling out at a faster rate tonight. The pace is picking up. Whoa! Susan, I thought you were cool. I was fucking wrong, man. I hate that shit. You ever misjudge somebody real bad? Man, I hate when I do that. I do it all the time, though, because, Lori, be cool, all right? Because I can't stop nothing right now. But I do misjudge people all the time, and fuck you. You know what I'm saying? You're an idiot. Get bent. Put your mask on and get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? You're being ignorant. Why would you call somebody that? Why would you say something like that about somebody? What is wrong with you? Fuck. Man, spoiling this shit for everybody. We're trying to have a good time. It's rant night. Hey, Kilo, let me see what you got. Alex Jones seems like a whacked out Jerry Springer on YouTube. He is. That's exactly what Alex Jones is. 100%. But he deserves to be able to do it. I believe in the First Amendment like some people do the Second. I think it's more important, honestly. You know, this weapon I was born with. This weapon is my weapon. I don't own a gun. But I feel like everybody's got this weapon. You're born with it. It's fucking factory equipment. How you gonna let somebody put a muzzle on that? Your ability to share the truth, your ability to express yourself. How you going to let somebody control that? You don't think it's more important? I do. Shit, it'd be the ability to speak and then fight. You can't even talk. What's your gun going to do? But anyways, I'm so distracted. I can't believe somebody was saying shit like that I thought was cool. I'm being a pro so much right now. You guys don't even understand how professional I'm being right now because I'm on a different screen so I can't even see it. Do you understand how disgusting that was? Just for a second, we're on rant night. We can talk about it for a second. I hope you're still fucking here. She is a sweet lady. And you don't even know her. And I realized I didn't know you. But I do know Lori. So that was some of the most ignorant shit I've ever seen. I'm shaking. But moving on. It's a face diaper. You damn right, Elizabeth. Thank you for cool people. Thank you, God, for cool, intelligent people. Thank you. Thank you. Man, I'm sorry. I'm upset. I was pretending to be upset and y'all got me mad for real. How'd you do that? Kilo says, I'm a little in the dark. Don't know what happened. With Alex Jones? Or what? Were you away from the feed? I got upset. Somebody called somebody bad names. And I like that person. And I got upset. You know what it was like when you got your little brother or sister. And you're hanging out at the park. And somebody takes their ball away or some shit. And then you're instantly fuck no. I know you didn't just fuck with my little brother. It was kind of like that. Something like that happened. Happens from time to time. It's live. Plus, you know what? I can't even keep up with what's being said. So for all I know, it would be very out of character. But for all I know, there was more to it. There could have been. I can't even look at it right now. Not even on that page. Sorry, Facebook, I can't see your comments right now. I will be back to you in just a second. As soon as I feel like I'm calm enough. Because I just realized I could be totally wrong. Because I reacted emotionally. So, this brings us to our next topic. I found a way out. Should I do a deep purge on my Facebook friends list? I'm just asking you guys' advice. What do you think? I have 5,000 Facebook friends. I probably interact with 35 of them. It's probably more than that. Maybe, let's say 150. I bet there's not more than 150 that I know, that I've seen, that I see their names, or they react to my stuff, or I see their pages. It's probably about 150, I would guess, out of 5,000. Who the rest of these people? And they don't ever show up or say anything until you have the nerve to have an opinion that disagrees with one of theirs. Then they want to tell you all about yourself. Then they cannot wait to shit all over you. But they haven't said a word or interacted with one thing, and you haven't seen anything from them ever. Why is that? What is going on with that? This is a game they're playing with us. Ain't nobody seeing this shit. People say, well, it sucks that Facebook only allows you to have 5,000 friends. Well, it doesn't matter. They give you 30,000. They only let 100 see your shit. They're giving you a hamster wheel to run in. That's why I remember earlier I was trying to make a point. A friend told me that they don't put nothing on the internet they don't want you to see. Well, that's not true. It is and it isn't. They allow everything because it's important for them to have that out there. And I lost it twice. How am I going to do that? How am I going to get it back and then lose it? I remember what I was going to say and then I lost it. The hamster wheel shit. That's why they let me sit on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and run my mouth. Because it doesn't matter. They're only letting so many people see it. It's not getting out. They have a volume button on it. They can control it. They can be like, okay, we're going to put a shotgun blast on this one, and we're going to put a laser sight on this one. This one's going to get out to a group of 50 people, and this one, we can put this out to the whole feed. This is safe for everybody. But I'm not approved content. And if you're telling the truth, if you're saying anything of value, you're not either. Kilo says, seems like Facebook is self-inflicted stress. You don't have a Facebook? I don't know if I trust you anymore. I got told today that Facebook is only for old people. At my job, we had borrowed some people from another store. And one of them, as they were leaving, people were like, hey, give me your Facebook, because they want to stay in touch. And she's like, that's for old people. I felt really old when she said that, because she was probably like mid-20s. And I'm like, shit, am I old? Is Facebook for old people now? Is Facebook not cool anymore? I don't even know. Don't even know. Helen says, I never ever even heard Lori ever raise her voice. She'll tell you to go to hell with 2 handfuls of shit and have the voice of an angel. You can hear the harps. The block function's here for a reason, Lori says. I came back to Facebook, guys. I feel safe now. Susan's here. I'm going to read it. I probably shouldn't. I read it quiet. Now I'm going to read it out loud. I've been bombarded today. I'm super freaking prickly. I popped in late and I was still seething. I thought I was safe here, and you called me Karen for wearing masks. Don't tread on me, peeps. And Lori says she apologized. I emotionally reacted. I'm apologizing as well. Okay? Lori's a friend. I got excited. It was rant night. Forgive me. But let's back up. And that does take guts, Lori. You're damn right. It's damn right. And it takes heart to say you're wrong and admit that you're wrong. But research all sides before making up your mind. You know, let me send you some stuff. Really. And I'll stay away, if you want, from the people that the media has told you not to listen to, like Dr. Makovitz, for example, or any of these other medical professionals that have tried to come out and say these things. I'll stay with mainstream people, and I can still feed you information that would show you, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that this is all bullshit. Riley says, I'm sorry too. Holy shit, what happened? We got out of hand, dude. Hey, it's squirrel style. Squirrel style's dangerous. I don't know if you know this, but I promised my father when I was 12 years old that I would never do squirrel style again. Ever. And I broke that promise. And now that we brought squirrel style out of the box, there is no putting it back in. You cannot contain squirrel style. I want to get back to this, though, because I really want your advice. Should I do a deep purge on my Facebook friends list? I'm thinking about clearing out like 1,500 people. I'm thinking about doing it in a couple of different ways. One will be very entertaining for you guys on Facebook, the ones that are already on my friends list, because you know how I purge. I'm lazy. I get the trash to take itself out. But I'm talking about going in and just taking about a good 1,000 names that I don't know, have never seen and never heard from, and just hitting unfriend and clearing up space, and then moving in another 1,000 people and then kicking 950 of them out. You know what I mean? And keep doing that. Put more effort into my friends list. Make it less stressful, like Kilo was saying. Because I've always just looked at it as a tool for sharing, because I'm a content creator, so I need it. I can't get anything out without it, unfortunately. And that's why I use it. That's why I use Twitter. That's why I use Instagram. That's why I use all of it. Otherwise, I wouldn't. I've grown to like it, but that's how I began. Kilo's sorry too, by the way. Just so you guys know, they're sorry over here on YouTube too. This was emotional for everybody. But as Susan was saying, sometimes you have a hard fucking day. I had a hard week, but I put myself through it. I'm happy I did it. I got out of it one of the best things I've ever made. I've never been more proud of the video that we made last night. And it's the most important thing I've ever done. I feel like it gives validity to everything I've ever done. I think it makes my Titanic swap video seem a little more believable. Like, holy shit. No one's going to see it, though. Please help me share it. Please help me get it out. I just want that information out there. You know, I don't have a lot of tools at my disposal. I'm still learning. So I don't know how to make real neat videos yet. I'm coming along. But I put thought behind every word in that video. Because that's all I have in mind is my words, my narration. And there was some heavy hitting in there. I don't know if you even caught it all, man. I put so much effort into making sure every line stung. I tried real hard. Never tried that hard on something ever. But I've never done something that important. Please share it. Please help it get out. Much as we can. I know we really can't do much, but as much as we can. Yeah, prayers for Lee. Just a second. Hold on. We're all over the place tonight. Lee's having a little bit of medical trouble, and I would love for everybody to just, you know, people say it's stupid, thoughts and prayers, but that's not on the list. Let's get to that, though. It isn't. You raise your vibration. Thoughts are powerful. You know, you have limitless potential. You can raise people's vibration. You can send positive energy. You can do things. You can make changes. There's all kinds of things that these people who want to shit all over everything good don't know. But they're the last to understand that fact out of every fact, that they don't know everything. But they want to tell you you're wrong if something makes you feel better. Like, whatever it is. Whatever it is. It could be a lucky rabbit's foot. A lucky coin, your faith, your belief system, crystals, whatever. If you believe in it, it fucking works. It's just a fact. Your mind is infinitely powerful. You know, there's a line from a Fiona Apple song. It's my favorite line ever from a song. She said, it's all in your head. But so's everything, but he didn't get it. Everything is in your head. Everything. So how could your mind not be immensely powerful? Your thoughts are very powerful, and it's all real. Lee says, thank you. My electronics come off tomorrow at 3. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Who's leaving? Somebody's leaving. Everybody's saying goodbye. Jessica said the energy in you is literally the energy in me. And he says all is a matter of perception. Absolutely true. Collective consciousness, Lori said. And thank you, Joan. Thank you. Susan says, if you want to block and unfriend me, you can, but I'm not a Karen. I'm super involved politically. I'm on top of BLM. I'm attacking Trumpers and Bideners. I was not ready to be called a Karen. I got pissed off instantly. And Lori, you're beautiful. I read that because it needed to be read. You ever put your foot in your mouth? You ever done something you regret, like, instantly? I have. Fucking tons of times. More often than I'm ready to admit, honestly, but enough to understand it, enough to recognize it when I see it. She's sorry. And I'm sorry too. Again, I'm sorry. I went at you hard, and I'm sorry. Hey, Riley. Paul said, what if I told you that you actually control your own personal matrix through butterfly effect and happenstance? I would be like, word? What? Top fan, I believe you. Man, it makes sense. It is all in your head. You can control your reality. You know, I used to think that was all bullshit. Till I started doing a motivational show. Some of you know this, some of you don't. I have a lot of new people and some old people that are with me. I used to do a show for Bernie Sanders every day. That gave birth to this show. That got me used to doing something every day. That's what made this show happen. But it was a motivational show for the political revolution. It's a little embarrassing right now, but I did. And to do that show, I had to build myself up every day because I never got on here and talked to you if I wasn't ready to tell you that change is possible, that anything you want is possible. So I would listen to motivational videos. I would get my head right. I would meditate. I would do all kinds of shit. And I'm telling you, I changed my life by changing what I took in. So you're a liar if you say you can't change your perception, change your life, change the way things have... Because everything is your perception. Everything is how you react to stuff. Literally everything. So it is your own personal matrix. Yeah, Lori, this is adults talking. And sometimes when adults are talking, feelings get hurt. Especially in real conversations. Happens. He says that he's from the Bernie times. I know you are, brother. I get attached to you guys. As you saw with Lori earlier, I really do. Like, you guys mean something to me. My heart was broken all over that because I like Susan too. So I got triggered. I got emotional. But I love you guys. I love all of you guys. I get attached. I remember you. I get attached to you. And the ones of you that I haven't met or seen, I have imaginary versions of in my head. Dude, you live in my head. Kilo, there's an imaginary Kilo in my head. And I know that's not your name, but that's what your name is in my head. Riley says, I want you guys to see aliens too. Riley's going to come on. Riley has had experiences with alien life forms and is going to come on and tell us about it firsthand. And it's hard for her to talk about. So I'm honored that she would want to do that. She offered to come on and share it with us. So I can't wait to hear about it. Joan says, if you didn't do that show, we wouldn't all be here now. So don't ever be sorry for doing it. I'm not. I hope I didn't sound like I was. I said I feel stupid thinking back on it now. But it made me better. It made this happen. I wouldn't change anything. Even the bad things. I would keep it all the same. Hold on. Jennifer says, my son came in to talk to me and I missed the rant time, but it was worth it. He's a woke 16-year-old. Go back and watch it, Jennifer. It was awesome. So much happened. I can't even sum it up for you. You know how this is. 30 things can happen in 15 minutes. Well, they all did. Paul says, I'm here from the politics and stuff days. Man, that's old days. That's old days. Dude, you should watch some of those. I used to wear sunglasses like Mitch Hedberg on here because I have stage fright talking to you guys. I'm a lot better now, but I get nervous. Just like I'm about to go on stage before I come on here. And I'm in my room. I couldn't be more comfortable. This is my desk. You know what? I get scared. But Paul was the first person to make me feel like I was actually good at this, that it was actually something I could do. I liked it, but he was the first one to go, hey man, I want you to do shows from my page. And I was like, what? Sergeant J, you guys, some of you know Sergeant J, was one of the people that got me live streaming. I just did a live stream, and then I get a call from Sergeant J. I was watching Sergeant J's videos all the time. It's like a celebrity called me and then hooked me up with Paul. They put me on their page. I started to feel like a big shot. Started to feel like I was on to something. I was just talking. People actually liked it. So I owe Paul a lot, actually. He really inspired me to keep pushing at this and show me that somebody believes in it and would actually want to represent it. I mean, I had a falling out with that page, and turns out time would have been the thing to heal it if I'd have just stayed, because I found out I was wrong. But it's good, though, because I'm serious about this. This is my dream. This is my passion. This is what I love. This is what I want to do. So it's good that I went on my own. It's good that I went and made my own page. And it's good that I'm doing that and building a brand. And I'm glad that you're still here with me for it and experiencing it all with me. But Riley said, you are great at this. Oh my God, thank you. That's so nice. I've been doing it for years, so I should have at least been a little better than I was when I started. But I'm comfortable talking. I'm a stand-up comic. I know that we don't do a lot of jokes on this show, but I've been a stand-up comic, for a really long time, a couple decades. Never big, never made it outside the local area, just small-time clubs and stuff like that. So I'm comfortable talking in front of people. And then I love truth. I love history. I'm a big fan of Will Cooper, and I have all this information. And what good is it to me? Combine the two. That's what I feel like. If you know this stuff, it's your job to inform other people. Otherwise, what are you doing? You know the world is evil and full of evil sons of bitches, literally walking demons, controlling everything. And you're just gonna be like, oh well. Next video. Fuck that. Dude, I gotta make sure somebody knows. I gotta make sure people see it. I gotta make sure it stops. Riley says, I'm high and was hitting the heart like crazy. Well, I can't wait to watch it back because I love watching the react icons go up the screen. I know I did, Susan. I went hard at you. I'm sorry. And I knew I was doing it when I did it. I'd love to tell you I emotionally reacted. I did go at you like a heckler. I wanted you to stop. I'm sorry. Lori said, remember when I added you live? I do. It was great. Hold on, wait. To Riley? Ooh, tag me. Go back, find that video and tag me. I gotta see it. Gotta see it. All right. But let's see. What do you guys want to talk about? I am done with my notes. That's it. That's all she wrote. Good. I'm glad. Thank you. So you are cool. See? I'm wrong all the time. But what do you want to talk about? What is on your mind? I didn't give you guys a chance to rant at all. What are you pissed off about? What are you mad about? What do you want to talk about? Oh my God. We've been on for an hour, y'all. How upset was I? Paul says, you showed amazing potential from the start, and I could see you were super talented. I'm still a huge fan. And that means a lot. That's a very nice compliment. I really appreciate that. I appreciate you saying that. But, dude, I know I'm the fucking GOAT. I'm just kidding. That's very arrogant. But I do listen to The GOAT by Spose before I go on every night. 'Cause I'm the GOAT. It stands for greatest of all time. And I didn't say that for you guys. I said that for anybody who might not know. I don't really think I'm a GOAT. Like, the greatest of all time. He said, just remember, Shawn, if you weren't any good, we wouldn't be here. Dude, I have the best fans. I've been so lucky. And I'm going to take this opportunity because I wanted to do it, and I did do it, in a message today. But it ain't the same. All right? There is a group of people behind the scenes that help me. And they didn't ask to. I kind of forced it on them. But they've stuck around and they keep doing it. They keep helping me. They fucking rock, dude. And I couldn't even do this without them. All right? I sit here and I'm having anxiety attacks. I have some mental problems. I'm very honest with you guys about everything. I deal with mental issues. I treat myself with marijuana and medication. I see a doctor, but I have very severe anxiety. And while I know I'm good at this, sometimes I get terrified. I don't want to go on, or I feel like I can't do it, or I'm bipolar, so sometimes I'm negative on myself. This group of people that I put together, they always help me through. And I wanted to tell them that it means the world to me. And I did that today in a message, but you know what I'm saying. It don't always hit home the way it needs to. They really help me. Hell, they're responsible for this show being on the air some nights. Susan said, I told you I was cool. Thank you for acknowledging. I appreciate you peeps. Sometimes we have a bad day. Everybody does. Everybody does. And trust me, I will piss you off one day. Even you, Lori. Even you, Helen. And even you, Paul. It's impossible for me not to. But please, if I ever do, don't leave. Don't run off. Stick around. We have a history. We have a relationship. You can't break up with me like that. What are you going to do? You're just going to walk out? Jennifer said, I have anxiety too. It's part of being an empath until we can learn how to protect ourselves. And I'm an empath too. And it sucks. It sucks. Being an empath in this world is horrible. Being able to feel it, I hate that shit. It's a burden. It's like a superpower. It's also like a huge stone you have to carry around all the time. But you have a superpower. It's weird. Like I wouldn't change it. It's part of what makes me me, but it's rough. It's tough. Damn, Riley. I done made Riley mad. Hashtag Shawn pissed me off. It's gonna happen. Trust me. Paul, how many times have you seen a fan, someone that sits there every day, like, I love you, Shawn, get furious with me? How many times? How many times? You've been with me for years. Or Helen, she could tell you. It happens. It happens. They turn on me on a dime. And I get so upset sometimes because I get attached to you guys. Paul says the storm is the frequency. What does that mean? The storm? Is that the Q storm? The one that they keep talking about's coming? The storm? Or these songs? You lost me, Paul. Lori said, you already pissed me off. Dude, I've ran Lori off. She's back, though. You know why? Because me and Lori are both cool. She didn't want to be around when I was talking about voting every day. A lot of people didn't. I didn't see Helen for months. I forgot what she looked like. She's back now, though, because I came around. You know, they just needed to wait for me to see the light. But when I did, they were right there waiting for me. Yeah, we besties again, Lori. He said, I worry about you sometimes. Your well-being. What do you mean? Oh, by the way, I'm not suicidal, y'all. Some of you know, last night I dropped a video on child sex trafficking. Please check it out on the Yankey Show page and my YouTube channel, Me on Things and Stuff. And share. Get that out there. That's the way you pay me. You pay me in views. I want eyeballs on that video. So if you like me and want to pay me, that's how you do it. You share that. That's the most important thing I've ever made, and I want to get that out. But, holy shit. I'm trying to burn the house down. I have a missing cherry to my cigarette. Alright, now I'm worried about my well-being too, Heath. Helen says, being an empath on the spectrum got me like, wow, you really feeling that, but why? Dude, It's weird. It's hard to explain to somebody who's not. But you can feel emotions and people's energy. And it's difficult sometimes. I am perfect just as I am, and so are you, and so is Susan, and so is everybody here. And I love all you guys. Why does YouTube go quiet like that? And I don't believe that that's because everybody left. Somebody might have left, but there's still people here, and they just go quiet. The last thing was like 30 minutes ago. Kilo said, "Be right back." But I don't know. It happens. And if you're still talking YouTube, I want you to know that I've been told that comments aren't showing up for me. It's nothing on my end. Trust me. Used to be technology problems, but we're not having that anymore. We've got a lot better equipment now. It's not me. Helen says, "We were always watching you spread your wings and learning. We would have swooped in if needed, if you needed it." I bet you would have too. I bet you were. You probably were checking on me, weren't you? Steve says, "I remember a show you did, Shawn. You had a panic attack because you thought nobody was watching. I think I was the only one. I tried to talk you down." Holy shit. I've had more than one on live before. Matter of fact, this is real. This is honest. I have never told this story, but I don't know if I have or not, honestly, now that I don't want to be a liar, but a long time ago, I used to stream real regular. Until one day, I had a panic attack for an entire live stream. And then nobody saw me or heard a peep from me for like 6 months. For a little while, I couldn't fucking talk. I didn't make no sense. Well-spoken guy like me couldn't even make sentences. I shut down completely. So, dude, you don't know how many times you've seen panic attacks on screen. I'm pretty good at hiding it. Paul says, "Open the third eye. The pineal gland is the key to becoming a receiver to proper frequencies." I clean my pineal gland. I'm liking that comment right now. I clean my pineal gland every day. Matter of fact, I fight the Rona every day. Because my medicine is a miracle medicine. My medicine is cannabis. And cannabis was put here for me and for you to enjoy and benefit from. It's a miracle. And it's amazing. And as Lori says, and Lori's my medical advisor, Lori says cannabis helps mental issues. And I can vouch for that 1,000 times over. Cannabis makes me normal. I don't even consider it a drug. I don't like that. I realize that it is technically in the definition of a drug, but it's fucking not, right? It's medicine. Did you know I was high at the beginning of the show? No, you didn't. Because it's not like alcohol. It's not like heroin. It's not like any other drug. It makes me be able to function like a normal person. I can do everything on marijuana that I can do normally. But I do it better. I do everything better with marijuana. And that's not me saying that out of bullshit. Babes could tell you, I'm a different person. It changes me completely. And it's not only me. It does that for all kinds of people. And it's not just mental issues. It's all kinds of things. It's seizures. People that have so many seizures, hundreds of seizures a day, cannot have a normal life. Can stop that and cut it down to just a few with cannabis. You know, this dangerous drug that's as dangerous as heroin? Parkinson's. Somebody that can't function, can't sit still, can sit and have a conversation with somebody. It's cannabis. It's not a drug, it's not dangerous, and it should be fucking free. You're going to put something in the water, it should be cannabis. Cannabis is vitamins. Vitamin C. He said, "I need a haircut. I'm starting to look like a Wookiee." Dude, I shave it off, man. I go Bruce Willis. But I have a receding hairline, you know, and I'm not going to fight that shit. I'm going to own it. Plus, I look really good bald, see? I'm beautiful. Riley said, did you know I've been high most of my adulthood? Dude, I know this room understands, but hey, somebody might be scrolling by who's like, what? They need to know. Cannabis is medicine. Lori says, Shawn's 9/11 and child trafficking shows are two of my faves. You know, I've never felt like I did anything of value. What? I don't mean it that way. My 9/11 videos and this one, you're right. Two most important subjects I've ever covered, and probably covered the best of any other subjects I've covered. And I did that with the child trafficking because it was so fucking important. And everything in that 26-minute video is completely true. I didn't include any speculation. I know a lot of you might have been let down because I didn't go into like deep into Podesta. I didn't go into all the other elites that are tied to this shit. And there was a reason for that because I couldn't verify it. I couldn't prove it, and you know what I'm saying. So there's no point in doing that because all you're doing is flagging your shit. You're only giving it reason to be taken down. So the information was what was important, and the information I included is completely verifiable. Lori said I have face hair. Face hair. Hair is strength. Hair is not restricted to the top of the head. What? Is that what all this other shit is all over? I don't know. That's all hair too? I'm just fucking with you. Paul said my personal favorite is the Titanic video. Mine too. Guilty pleasure. I made that one twice, dude. Do you guys want to watch it? It's pretty fucking awesome. I could bring it up right now. Lori said every word is truth. The Titanic video is good, and I made it twice. Both of them are really good. Go check it out. It's a very interesting conspiracy. And it's true. I 100% believe it. The shipwreck at the bottom of the ocean is the Olympic. Titanic was fine. Titanic went on as the Olympic and had a very long career. Retired even. The Olympic is at the bottom of the ocean because they switched them two ships. Helen said we're mammals. If you're not covered, there's some medical issues. You got to look up the Titanic. I can play it for you right now. We're at 1 hour and 15 minutes. There's absolutely no rules past an hour. I don't know if you knew that. We were already squirrel style, and now we can do anything we want. And I kind of want to show the Titanic video. Lee said, I do elderberry syrup, golden milk, and weed every day. What is golden milk? I never heard of that. I truly believe that's why I'm still here, and I do too. Yes, I want to watch all the ones being mentioned. That's 2 votes. Everybody's watching the Titanic video. And you have Jessica and Lori to blame if you didn't want to, and me. Because I love this video. And Paul, I hope you're talking about the remake. Because I remade it. I like it so much I remade it. Now, the Titanic conspiracy video is one of the very first videos I ever made. And it has 52,000 views on YouTube, which is my second most viewed video. My most viewed video is 15 More Insane Mandela Effects, and it has 69,000 views. But the rest of my videos, nowhere near that. Like my Clinton body count video is my next most popular video, 6.8 thousand views. Anyways, this. I remade it because it was one of the first ones I ever made, and I
in the early morning hours.
Sorry. But this one is the one I hope Paul was talking about. I don't know if it was or not, but I'm going to assume it was because I want it to be. I'm going to switch the set here, and we're going to hang out and watch the Titanic video. And then we'll probably wrap up for the night because I got to get up at 4 a.m. This video is only 15 minutes long. If you're still here, please watch it. It's one of my favorite videos that I've ever made, and it's fun, and it's true. Let me turn off that music. I don't want that to be distracting. It's badass though, right? I made that music. Here we go. Let me bring this up. All right, guys, this is the ship that never sank. This is about the Titanic. Let me back it up to the beginning. Enjoy.
In the early morning hours of April 15, 1912, The RMS Titanic sank to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean, and over 1,500 people lost their lives in this tragic event. Now, the story of the sinking of the Titanic is one in which you will find that when you really look into it, you will leave it with more questions than you do answers. One of these questions is whether or not it is actually the wreckage of the Titanic that rests at the bottom of the Atlantic at all. You see, many people believe that it is not the Titanic that sank that morning, but rather her sister ship, the Olympic. And on this episode of Conspiracy Theories and Chill, we're going to look into whether the Titanic disaster was actually an insurance scam gone horribly wrong, and look at why people would believe this theory, which implies not only that the ships were swapped, but that they knew that it would sink. The story begins with the White Star Line, who had invested heavily in these two luxury liners. These ships were to be the pinnacle of their fleet, unmatched in elegance and class, and they needed them to be a huge success to pay off their investment. The Olympic was completed first, but instead of a begin to a return on their heavy investment, the Olympic was plagued with problems from its beginning, and on just her 5th voyage, she collided with the British naval cruiser, the HMS Hawke. The two ships were traveling parallel to each other, and the Olympic turned to starboard. But with its size and wide turning radius, this didn't give the captain of the HMS Hawke time to react. And the Hawke's bow, which had been designed to sink ships by ramming them, collided with the Olympic's starboard side, tearing 2 large holes above and below the waterline and flooding 2 of her watertight compartments. The hilt of the Olympic was twisted, which caused a noticeable list to port that would be permanent. Now, the Olympic was able to limp back to port, but the HMS Hawke had suffered severe damage and had nearly capsized, but was later repaired at the White Star Line's expense. You see, the fault of the accident didn't end up mattering much because it involved a military craft. So the White Star Line ended up being found at fault and responsible for the expensive repairs to the HMS Hawke, and also left holding the bag on the heavily damaged Olympic. And this put the White Star Line in trouble because they had already heavily bet on these two ships, and their investment was hemorrhaging money instead of creating it. So now they were left with a nearly finished Titanic and a heavily damaged Olympic that they had to try to repair. It took 2 weeks of work just to get the Olympic in good enough shape to get her back to Belfast. And then by pulling resources from the construction of the Titanic, in just another 6 weeks, they were able to get her in good enough shape to go back out to sea. You see, it was said that to fully repair the damage done to the Olympic, she would have had to be cut in 2 and have a new frame inserted, so a full repair was out of the question financially for White Star. So the Olympic was patched up and sent back out to sea, but during one of her first trips out, she struck an undersea shipwreck, causing damage to a propeller, and once again had to return to Belfast for more repairs. The damaged propeller was taken from the not yet in service but nearly complete Titanic, so it was already stamped Titanic and numbered 401. But as we said, the White Star Line was in a tough spot. They weren't getting a return on their investment, and the Titanic wasn't ready for launch yet. The Olympic was badly damaged and also plagued with bad luck. They needed to turn this around, and the way they are said to have done that is to come up with the idea to switch the two ships. The Olympic and Titanic were nearly identical, and the theory goes that the White Star Line saw that they were going to take an expensive bath on the Olympic, and that the remaining half of their fleet couldn't possibly recoup their losses because the Olympic was too expensive to repair properly. But they had proven that they could patch it up enough and deal with its flaws, like the permanent list to port problem, enough to send it out at least one more time. But for how long could they keep doing that? The damage that had been done to it was all uncovered by insurance, and further damage to it would most likely put it out of commission for good. But if you rename it the Titanic, you can insure it like a brand new ship, and then if something were to happen, it would be fully covered. And this is what people believe happened, and I find the story very compelling. So far, it makes perfect sense to me and sounds exactly like something that billionaires do every day. All you have to do is rebrand the ship Titanic, and then let it have an unfortunate accident that you can claim insurance on and recoup your losses. Then you have a brand new ship ready to go and the money to replace the one that you had lost. Makes perfect sense to me, and that is why many people believe that this is what took place. They think that what happened next was the White Star Line switched the nameplates, lifeboats, and all identifying items on board each ship. But for the most part, everything on board would have been standard White Star property that would be virtually identical. But after they had switched everything identifying, they had sent out the patched up Olympic as the Titanic, planning an event. What people believed they had in mind was they would send out the Titanic on a doomed voyage that they would undersell and then shadow it with another ship that could be nearby to rescue the passengers. Now, it didn't work out that way, but you've come this far, so come a little further and I'll tell you why people think that this is what happened. Around the same time that the White Star Line was having their financial troubles, some other financial problems were also brewing. A collection of elite billionaires had gathered at Jekyll Island and had plans to enact a central banking system in this country that ended up becoming the Federal Reserve. But at the time, not all the rich and powerful men were on board with the creation of the Federal Reserve, most noteworthy of which would be John Jacob Astor, Benjamin Guggenheim, and Isidor Straus, all three of which died in the sinking of the Titanic. These three men were said to be traveling to America to fight the formation of the Federal Reserve, and all happened to perish together on the way to do so. Three very wealthy men on their way to try to stop other very wealthy men from putting into place what we now know to be the biggest scam in history? Coincidence? Well, it'd be a big one. But in the skeptic's defense, the odds are probably similar to the odds of all three even being in the same place at the same time. But another interesting coincidence involving the super rich and the Titanic is with cancellations. Over 50 big names canceled last minute, including billionaire J.P. Morgan, who had originally planned to travel on the Titanic, but came down ill and canceled last minute. Luckily, he had all of his items removed before the ship left port, including an expensive statue collection that he was permanently transporting to the States, but decided better of it at the last minute. Along with financial elites all canceling their voyage on this, at the time, top-of-the-line luxury liner, they also offered last-minute first-class seekers second-class accommodations, which is odd unless they just didn't want them to buy tickets. In fact, another odd bit of coincidence is that Titanic's maiden voyage, for as big as an event as it was, both for the time and for the White Star Line, was very underpromoted and undersold. It left port only half full as a result, thankfully in hindsight, but very odd for the time and size of such an event, don't you think? So where we're at now in the story is that there's evidence of foreknowledge in the elite community and also evidence that they underpromoted the event and discouraged passengers from buying tickets, if only in the end result of it leaving port half full. But as we mentioned earlier, they are planning insurance fraud, not murder at this point. So they are planning to rescue the survivors. And that's where the story is at this point. And so far, it all still makes very good sense to me. I think you could pull off switching the ships. And if you could control the crew manning that ship, you could pull the whole thing off. Enter Captain John Smith. Captain Smith had a long history with the White Star Line and was also captain during both of the Olympics mishaps. But those weren't the only blemishes on Smith's record. He was known to be quite a hot dog that drove his ships like speedboats, and his record was full of accidents. So Captain Smith was in danger of losing his prestigious high-paying job. Now that makes him desperate, hence easy to control, so he makes perfect sense for a fall guy to take this ship on its first and last ride. Now Captain Smith's only request in taking on the Titanic's maiden voyage was that he get to choose his own crew, which is believed to be how Captain Smith could control what his role would have been in this conspiracy. So now we have our conspirators in place and a crew to man the ship that will play ball in what they're planning. But for this to work and not be murder, they'd still need a rescue ship in place. But how could you arrange that? Well, remember J.P. Morgan, who fell ill and couldn't make his journey on the Titanic? Well, it also turns out that J.P. Morgan just happens to own the White Star Line and many other things, including another noteworthy ship in the Titanic story, the Californian. Now, the Californian had left Belfast under strange conditions. The conditions were strange because at the time there was a coal shortage, and coal was being used sparingly, with ships being sent out with only what they needed for their journey. But the Californian had left port carrying no passengers and only a small shipment of 3,000 woolen blankets and clothing, but it left fully stocked up on coal. The Californian was heading to Boston, but also strangely stopped in an ice field overnight, 12 miles from what ended up being the final resting place of the Titanic on the evening of the 14th, at the command of her captain, Stanley Lord. Lord is also said to have been anxious that night and slept on his couch fully dressed with his crew on high alert and the boilers ordered to be ready to go at a moment's notice, even though they planned to be stationary for the entire night. Captain Lord had all of his lookouts searching the sky for distress rockets. Another noteworthy coincidence is the night that the Titanic sank, she received only 6 radio messages, but of those 6, 3 were from the Californian. 3 separate messages, giving just the Californian's position and that they were stopped for the night. All 3 messages addressed personally to Captain Smith, as if Captain Lord wanted Captain Smith to be sure that they were ready and in place. And many researchers believe that the Californian's odd behavior that night was because she was supposed to be the rescue ship when the Titanic went down. It is suggested that it was a navigation error that led to the Californian being stopped in the wrong spot and too far away from the site the Titanic ended up sinking, but that the original plan, and in fact the whole purpose for the Californian's journey, was to rescue the survivors of the pre-planned Titanic disaster. Now, the Californian and Captain Lord will re-enter the story later on to add to the coincidences that are going on, but for now, let's just look more into what went on with the Titanic that night. Captain Smith had chosen a path directly through a known ice field and had the ship traveling at full steam ahead, which may sound erratic, but was actually standard practice traveling through ice fields at the time. The idea was that any object that was big enough to damage the ship would be seen well enough in advance to avoid it. And that should have been true. All reports of visibility on the night that Titanic sank were positive. Visibility was said to be good for up to 5 to 6 miles and crystal clear. In fact, in later testimony, Second Officer Lightholder said that visibility was at least 2 miles and that an iceberg should have easily been seen at that distance. But the evening that the Titanic sank, Captain Smith also is said to have slept in his uniform, while First Officer Murdoch was in charge on deck and was standing on the bridge on the starboard side when he first saw the iceberg. And for some reason, he ordered the ship turned to port and engines full astern, reversing the engines and actually increasing the risk of a collision with the iceberg. After the collision with the iceberg, Captain Smith took back command on deck, but his officers didn't immediately begin to respond like there was any trouble. They didn't seem to act concerned or be rushing around, almost as if Smith and his crew expected to be rescued. The crew is said to have been moving very slowly preparing evacuation from the ship, waiting 45 minutes to even prepare the lifeboats. In fact, the first lifeboat wasn't even launched until after an hour and 25 minutes had passed. Meanwhile, on the Californian, Captain Lord had his lookouts searching for red, white, and blue distress rockets. Lookouts had reported sighting low-flying white rockets commonly used by fishing vessels, but no high-flying rockets of any color were reported, and Captain Lord had checked in with them regularly. Now, like we had established, it is theorized that the Californian is laying in wait to rescue the survivors, and it would have worked too, but the Titanic wasn't where she thought she was. The Titanic's navigator had miscalculated their location, and the location that was given to Captain Smith was 12 miles off from where they actually were. Captain Smith wasn't where he thought he was when the Titanic was going down, and would have had no reason to doubt that the plan was going off without a hitch. That explains the delayed reaction by his men. They thought they'd be rescued, but rescue never came, as we all know, and the Titanic sank to the bottom of the Atlantic, killing over 1,500 passengers and crew. The resulting inquiries into the disaster were a complete and total sham. To begin with, the crew was immediately made to sign documents of silence on the incident, and all of them knew that they would never be able to find work again if they violated them, and also faced jail time. Lord Massey, a famously corrupt judge, ruled over the British inquiry and controlled the narrative the entire time in the courtroom to protect the White Star Line, always shifting blame back to Captain Stanley Lord of the Californian. And it is there that the blame ended up. They claimed that the low-flying white rockets that Lord's men repeated seeing were actually the Titanic's, and that the Californians should have rescued the survivors. Captain Lord fought until his death to clear his name of the Titanic tragedy and to get a new investigation into the event, but unfortunately, it never happened. But many researchers in the time since have compiled a compelling case that the Titanic was actually a massive insurance scam gone horribly wrong, and that the Titanic never did actually sink, and actually went on successfully for another 25 years as the Olympic. So far in this video, we've established financial motive for this theory, but what else is there to this story? Well, in 1912, they had no way of getting to the wreckage. But in 1985, the wreckage of the Titanic was discovered and has since been explored many times, and some interesting things have turned up. For one, remember that propeller we talked about earlier that was taken from the Titanic and put on the Olympic, stamped 401? Well, that propeller that should not be on the Titanic because it was taken and placed on the Olympic is in the wreckage. Also, evidence of gray paint on the undercoat has been found in the wreckage, and that's quite interesting because one of the few differences in the two ships was that gray paint was only used on the Olympic. The Titanic had black undercoating. Another noteworthy find in the wreckage is in the nameplate of the ship. Names of ships were commonly etched into the hull in those days, but in Titanic's wreckage, it is revealed that its was riveted on, but a section of it has fallen off, and underneath is what looks like an engraved M and P. Now, there is no M or P in Titanic, but there are in Olympic. But what else is there, though? Well, as I said earlier, there was a national coal strike going on during the launch of the Titanic. But despite the increase in unemployment as a result, the Titanic struggled to find a crew, with many refusing to work for them for any price. You see, there was a rumor going around the docks that the Titanic was doomed and that the two ships had been swapped, and even desperate men wouldn't work on the Titanic. It is said that those rumors could have been another factor in the ship being only half full of passengers when she left port. Did these rumors also keep people from going on Titanic's maiden voyage? As I've mentioned, more than 50 wealthy and prestigious passengers took ill suddenly and canceled their trips on the Titanic last minute. Could they have been tipped off? Maybe by the money man behind all of this himself, J.P. Morgan? Easily. Another unusual and noteworthy piece of evidence for the swap comes from when the Olympic was finally retired and stripped down of the wood paneling and even the first-class staircase, which were used to decorate the White Swan Hotel in the United Kingdom. Now, this paneling and staircase show number stamps that read 401, which, as you'll remember from the propeller, was the number given to the Titanic. The Olympic was branded 400. Now, shouldn't these relics match the stamp of the ship that they came from? But wait, there's more. Remember the list to port that the Olympic would always have after its collision with the HMS Hawk? The Titanic shouldn't have had any such list, but many survivors mentioned there being a noticeable list to port, and one second-class survivor, Lawrence Beasley, who also happened to be a science teacher, also reported on the list as well in one of the first books ever written about the Titanic disaster. The fact is, there is a lot of evidence and plenty of motive for this switch. For all those who say it couldn't happen, I would have to ask at this point, why not? The pictures? Well, let me ask you this. This was 1912. Not even that many images exist of the Titanic and the Olympic, and hardly any media existed at the time. How do you even know, other than what you've been told about the differences between the Titanic and the Olympic? In fact, in all promotional White Star materials that were used for Titanic's promotion, all of the images are of the Olympic, inside and out, not the Titanic. And I say we don't know the truth of this story. That much is crystal clear at this point for me. But is the Olympic actually the ship that rests at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean? Maybe. I have to say it looks very much like this is what happened. The motive is undeniable, and the evidence is hard to ignore. But let me know in the comments below what you think. Did the Titanic ever really sink? Tell me what you think, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next time right here on Conspiracy Theories and Chill from me on Things and Stuff. In the early morning hours of
Sorry. All right, that was the Titanic video. How we doing? You guys, this is the longest Yankee show ever. We have broken a record. We have never went this long. And I cannot believe we still have so many people here. I'm excited. That's my favorite too. It's not as important as the one I made yesterday, but it is good. Wasn't happy with the first one, to be honest with you. My first go at it, I didn't know what I was doing, and you can hear it all throughout. Although it's the most popular video on my YouTube channel, pretty much. The second one, the remake, what we just watched, hasn't caught on at all. Paul said it's been 16 since Globo Gym Purple Cobras blew a 4-man advantage and fell to Average Joe's Gym in the American Dodgeball Tournament. That was the end of everything. But if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. And if you get coached like that, you are going to win a dodgeball tournament. Lori's favorite is yesterday and then 9/11. Thank you, Jessica. He said it's a possibility. It's definitely a possibility. Definitely a possibility. And then did you catch the little part in the video about the hit on the 3 guys that were coming to America to fight the Federal Reserve? Yeah. You add everything in, and you start seeing that this shit really can line up. Riley, you found us on YouTube. Yes, this is the YouTube channel. You found it. Me on Things and Stuff. You know, I thought I was being so cute with that, but I think that I've done myself some harm with that. I think that went over some people's heads. You know, what I meant that title to express was that I could cover absolutely anything. Me on Things and Stuff. Clever to me. I like it. Paul likes it. He thinks it's a good title. But thank you guys so much for hanging out and spending so much of your night with me tonight. You guys are awesome, and I love all of you guys. I love hanging out with you, and thanks for letting me watch that video with you. I like watching the things that I make with you guys. I enjoy it. It's fun. That's what I get out of it. That's my reward. But thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for hanging out, and come back tomorrow night. Todd Church is going to be here, and it is going to be off the chain. You thought tonight went off the chain? Come back tomorrow night. Yeah, Lori, I might start a new YouTube channel. I'm thinking about it. Just having a fresh start. Just like the Facebook page, Shawn Yankey Show. Start a new YouTube channel, Shawn Yankey Show, and just run from there. You know, because I don't stand to lose anything now. My channel can never be monetized again. I mean, I can appeal, but they're never going to appeal it. So it's over there. So I may start me a new channel and just move my content. You know what I mean? Re-upload it. But thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow with Todd Church.